Hello, beautiful souls, and welcome back to Come Grow Spiritually with me. Today's going to be slightly different. I'm not very scripted today. I am just going to flow. And today I just want to share with you an experience that I had yesterday, which was the completion and graduation from a spiritual cycle that I have been working to move away from for several years. And actually I believe is the reason that I chose to incarnate in this earth, where I chose to choose the people that I did for family, because I came here to break cycles. I came here to stop this generational shit that was going on and saying, it stops with me, I'm done. So let's get into it. Now, full disclaimer, anything I share with you is my truth. It's my truth in how I see it. And I assure you that the other people involved don't see that that's not their truth. And that's fine. That is okay. That is actually a requirement for truth. My truth is going to be different from their truth. And that's okay. It's like having different tastes. Like they like ice cream and I don't. Doesn't mean they're bad people, doesn't mean I'm bad people. Just means that I see my experience very different from how they see the experience. And that's okay. I share here on this channel a lot about my journey, about my healing journey, about my life, about my growth. And that has always been my focus. And I have been on a personal healing and personal development and growth pretty much my entire life. But when I became a mom 26 years ago, that's when I started seeking it with intensity. I started seeking out information, education, professionals, seeing counselors, seeing people that work in the parenting field, and all these different things. I sought out the knowledge. Because very early on into my parenting, and again, if you grow up in some levels dysfunction, you don't know it's dysfunctional until you step outside of it. It's just how it works. I recognized that there were patterns that had happened in my life that I did not want to repeat with my children. I wanted to do things differently and AKA better. But you can't do that just on a want, just on a feeling alone. You have to seek the information, you have to find the support, and you have to learn a different way. I have been committed to doing that for well over 25 years. My oldest son is 26. And I'm not perfect, and I've made mistakes. I have harmed people through my life journey. But I'm able and willing to acknowledge and own my mistakes. And own my mistakes without an excuse, without a reasoning why, without having to justify. So it's not an apology with an excuse. That's the key to taking responsibility. I don't claim to be perfect. Perfection is not the goal. Okay? Progress is the goal. Taking steps forward, doing the introspection, learning, seeking out information, and making changes in my life to walk me forward to being the person that I wish to be. In the same breath, that also means, as I've recently discovered over the last few years, that I have to embrace all parts of me. The good, the bad, the ugly. Because guess what? We all have those. We all have those. So, getting back to my interaction. Yesterday I was contacted by a family member who was telling me that I need to stop sharing my truth and stop spreading lies and stop being delusional and living in a fairy tale land, which is what I've been told most of my life. And then threatened me. Like, if you continue, I'm gonna, expose you. please fucking do. Because I'm pretty sure there's nothing that you can expose that I haven't already exposed for myself. And if you do find something that I haven't exposed, here's the kicker. I'm likely going to take responsibility for it. Because that's what you do. And I'm likely going to be able to show and prove that that's not who I am anymore. Because I've grown, right? That's the point of growth, right? So go ahead, do whatever it is you feel you need to do. I am not going to invest any energy in that. I will not be responding. I will not be engaging. But I got to tell you, last night during the exchange, old Pam was like, bitch, hold my fucking beer. And I had to take a breath, and I had to say to that version of Pam, sit down, sweetheart. I don't need you to protect us right now. These people can't hurt us anymore. I'm not hurting. My life is thriving without them in my life. And again, this does not mean that these people are bad people. It just means that these people are not right for me. They are not my people. And that's okay. I'm not everybody's cup of tea. You will find people that don't like me. You will probably find people that think they hate my face. And you will find people that say, oh, I'm not really sure about Pam. She kind of reflects shit to me that I'm not sure how to deal with. Fair enough. But you're also going to meet a ton of people that tell you they love me. They love my energy. You're going to meet people who have told you, that will tell you that I have helped them heal and tap into their own worth and their own healing. And that I've walked alongside them and I've sat with them at the lowest point of their life when nobody fucking else would. So that's the thing. You're going to find two sides of the coin. Just like there's two sides to the truth. My truth and their truth. But I'm not going to be silenced. And I think I do a very good job of sharing my story with some integrity. I do not share details with you because I promise you, if I was to share some of the details that I have, you'd probably ouch. And old Pam is like just sitting there waiting with fucking receipts. Like, oh, but Pam, like you have receipts for this, this, and this. That's not who I am. I don't care enough about these people anymore because they can't hurt me. They can only hurt me if I let them. And I choose not to do that anymore. And again, I don't blame them. I'm not angry. And I actually see that this is a lot of stuff. Again, if you don't learn a different way, you will live the way you grew up. And I'm telling you, I can see this traveling back through the families for generations. But I came here to break that. And I don't care. That's my job. And I'm doing that for my children and for their children and for their children after that. Because at some point, somebody in the line has to step up and say, not enough. Enough, enough, enough. We're not going to continue to do this. And it's a lonely path at times. It's a misunderstood path at times. But I'm not there anymore. I'm free. I don't need outside validation. I don't need them or you or anyone else to validate my truth. Because I know my truth is my truth. I know me. I trust me. I love me. I care about me. And in order to care about me and love me, that means that I'm allowed to choose what relationships I have in my life, regardless of what society or blood ties or anything else tells me. And that's freedom. I'm free today. I didn't get caught up in all the drama last night that was trying to suck me back in. I mean, old Pam was like, bitch, hold my beer. And again, I had to take a moment because I had to say, hey, settle down. They're not a threat to you anymore. I don't need you to protect us. We're okay. I don't care what their opinion is. Of me, of my lifestyle, I don't care. Because it's irrelevant. Because they're irrelevant in my life. Now again, I'm not saying they're bad people. And when I share some of my hurt and my trauma and my experience, again, I think I try to do this with a level of integrity where I share little bits, but I don't go into details. I generally say, on the other hand, after sharing, again, I'm not angry, I'm not mad, and I'm not blaming them. I'm simply acknowledging my truth and what I've had to heal from and what I had to realize and what my experience was. And they're not going to shut me up for that. And they shouldn't be asking me to. Really. Nobody should be asking you to stop talking about your truth. Right? I can sit in a room with somebody else that can express their truth to me, and I can completely disagree. I could have walked through the same experience side by side with them and still completely disagree that their truth and my truth are not the same. But I would never not validate their truth. I would 100% validate their truth and express to them that I'm sorry that's their truth if sympathy is required. And I may even take it a step further and explain how my truth is, depending on the situation and the relationship and the person. But I certainly wouldn't tell them to shut up. I certainly wouldn't threaten them that I was going to expose them and do some kind of smear campaign and put all their secrets out into the world. But I mean, honestly, that's kind of been going on my whole life, so I'm not surprised, right? But I choose not to engage. I choose not to engage. And that's my freedom today. One last thing I want to say is I am fairly certain that they themselves are not watching my videos. I mean, why would they? So they obviously have people in their life who are watching my videos. And so therefore, the off chance that they know us personally and know who I'm speaking about, because I don't flaunt that personal information about my family. Most of you have zero idea who I'm talking about. You're strangers, we've never met. You don't know anything about me personally. But somebody who does is watching. And what I'd like to say to you is, I think you need to do some reflection. I think you need to stop and ask yourself, what is your intent, motive, and purpose of going back to them and saying, your sister said X, Y, and Z? And I really think that you might be taking my X, Y, and Z out of context, or not expressing the full context, because usually I follow up with, they're not bad people. I don't wish bad things on them. This is not anything personal about them. This is my experience. And yes, they are toxic to me. I use those words all the time because the way they make me feel is toxic to me. And that was actually a phrase that was given to me in my early 20s by a therapist when I started to open up and express about what was going on. And that was the phrase she gave me, was toxic. And ever since that day, and it took months for me to accept that word, but ever since then, that's the word I choose to use. And again, they're not always toxic. They're not bad people, but they can have toxic tendencies when it comes to our relationship dynamic. Doesn't mean that they have those dynamics with anybody else in the world. And again, doesn't mean they're bad people. It just means that us doesn't work. It's not healthy for me. And that's okay. So, to whoever you may be, you should really question yourself what your motives are. Because I can't think of any other motive other than hurting them by bringing them information that you know will upset them. It's kind of like a situation like if I was to walk into a room with a group of people and somebody was talking about one of my girlfriends. Now, I would probably make my way discreetly to that person and say, hey, that's my girlfriend, so can we maybe not, while I'm here, right? But I definitely wouldn't go to my girlfriend later and be like, hey, so-and-so was saying this, this, and this about you. Because what would be the purpose? The only thing that would cause would be to cause my friend to feel hurt and pain. So again, what's your motive? And again, I'm sorry because I choose not to have people like that in my life that are going to come to me and hurt me. My entire purpose and the reason that I believe I came to live this lifetime was to experience the things that I did. I chose this before I came. I chose my traumas. I chose the relationships I would have because I came here to grow. For my soul to grow, for my spirit to evolve. And part of that was to walk through this process in the early stages of my life and then move from victim to survivor to thriver to teacher. And that's where I am. I now share my experience because I know that there are hundreds of other Pams out there living the same truth as me. And again, this isn't about, is it right? Is it wrong? Is their truth the truth? That's not what this is about. This is about honoring what their truth is and what your truth is and how you feel. And when you come back into yourself and in your body, what feels good and what doesn't. And so now, after all this work that I've done through my education, through my professional life of helping other people on their journeys, and through my own personal journey of over 25 years with professional therapy, I now share my experience to others freely, in order to help other people break free as well. Because I want you to have the freedom that I have. I can't be hurt anymore. So I got to tell you, of course I did a tarot pull regarding what was the purpose behind this interaction. And I got to tell you, I have been getting spiritual messages from people that I watch or do tarot and different things that have been telling me for the last few weeks that somebody was watching me and it wasn't necessarily positive. Like their intentions didn't feel positive, which apparently has turned out to be true. And second, that I was going to be, I hate to use the word tested, but essentially that there was going to be a test to see if I was finally done with a cycle and chapter in my life. And it happened last night. It happened last night. Last night, and according to my tarot pull about it, showed that those karmic energies have balanced and that truth has surfaced and peace has finally taken root. They mark the cycle of spiritual graduation where I rise above these old wounds and reclaim my light. This reading is a reminder that closure isn't about them. It never was. None of this is about them. These videos, me expressing my truth, is not fucking about them. It's only about me. And when I choose to live in calm instead of chaos, and integrity instead of reaction, and peace instead of pain, the universe mirrors that strength back to me with clarity and love. So there was the test that I was told was coming. And unexpectedly, out of the blue, boom, there it was. And you know what? And I'm I'm grading myself. So, I mean, you don't necessarily grade your own paper as a student, right? But I give myself an A+. Because I'm telling you, old Pam's still here. Old Pam was like, motherfucker! And started pulling out receipts. And I was like, no, that's not the intent and purpose of this. I'm not going to resort to the name calling and the trash talking and defending myself. I don't need their validation. I don't need validation from my husband. I don't need validation from you who's watching this. I don't need validation from anybody. The only validation that matters comes from me. And last night, I proved to myself that because I'm in alignment with myself and with Source, that not only am I done this cycle and that these people can't hurt me anymore, and I will never open the door for these people because they continue to prove to me time and time again that this is not a healthy relationship for me. Again, Not calling them names, not saying they're anything. I'm simply stating that this relationship doesn't work for me, so I won't continue it. I won't engage in it. I won't open the door to it. And I'm not going to engage in any attempts to get my attention. Whether it's through a smear campaign, whether it's through reaching out through my children, whatever it is, I'm not going to engage. That's my peace. That's where I have power and where I have choice. And that's the freedom that I have learned on this journey of the healing I've done, of the spirituality work that I have done and continue to do. And I want you to have it. Because listen, I'm damn fucking proud of myself. I'm damn proud of myself because I didn't engage. I spoke my truth and said, I will continue to speak my truth how I see fit. It will not be silenced. But I didn't get involved in the name calling. I didn't make threats. I didn't say anything. I just simply said, if something is upsetting you, here's a tip that I learned many, many years ago through therapy. That when something is bothering me or making me angry, it generally means that I need to do some reflection, because what that tells me is there's something in that statement of whatever has upset me that I deep down know is a kernel of truth. And again, I'm only here to focus on me and share my story. So, I thank you for allowing me to have this little session today, and I will continue to share my story. And I will continue, and I'll probably be even a little bit more mindful, because again, my intention is not to hurt the people that I no longer have relationships with. I don't wish anything bad for them. I wish them to live their life as well and good and possible as they can. And if good things happen to them, wonderful, good for them, right? I'm not going to celebrate. I'm not going to be like, oh, why do they? I don't care. I don't wish bad things. I'm not angry. I simply wish to be able to say, I'm done with this because it doesn't work for me. And that should be fucking okay. But I will continue to share my truth, and I will try to do it with the utmost integrity, and I will be more mindful that perhaps there are people that know me personally that are watching and then reporting. Because again, my intention is not to harm. My intention is not, my whole premise for having this channel is to share strength and hope and healing and spirituality. That's what this all is about. And I choose to do that openly and honestly. And so I do that by, I own my shit. I come here sometimes when I'm in a really bad place and I share that because it's part of the process. But my intention is not to harm. So if your intention watching my channel or my content that I put out is to do harm, then I'd like to tell you you're in the wrong place, but you probably actually need to be here. Because you need to do some reflection. You need to start looking inside yourself and figure out, what is it about me that makes me need to go out and cause harm for other people? What is that? You can't be free until you start figuring that out. And I know, because I personally used to be that person. Remember, old Pam was like, bitch, hold my fucking beer. And my intention is to keep old Pam sitting down in a chair drinking a beer. Because I don't need her to get up anymore. But I'm not perfect. It's all about progress. And so there may come a time where I have to come on here and apologize because old Pam was like, made it to the front of the podium. But again, old Pam and I are pretty good friends. And she trusts me and I trust her. And I can have that conversation where I can say, listen, we don't need to get involved in this. We don't need to give our power and our energy over to these people in this situation. Nothing productive comes from it. So again, my intention is not to harm anybody. My intention is not to make people think that these people are bad. They're not bad people. And I mean, there are some truly evil people in this world, but there's a very small percentage of those people. All of us have good and bad. And again, you're going to find people out there that would tell you they don't like me. That's okay. You're going to find people out there that say, I can't have a relationship with Pam because that doesn't work for me. That's okay. Doesn't make them or me bad. It just means that doesn't work. All right. Before I continue and start on another tangent, I'd like to thank you all for watching today. I appreciate your love and support. And yeah, if you are interested in continuing to learn and journey and allow me to share my experience and my truth with you in hopes that inspires you to do your own healing journey and your own spiritual journey, then I'll see you tomorrow. Have a good one.